Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTuber that actually shows you full games of all the tips and schemes I post on my channel. I'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly against online ranked opponents. Alright, so guys, this is the second part of my two-part series, the Singleback Ace Twins out of the Houston Texans playbook. This is kind of the poor man version of the Green Bay or Jacksonville playbook. I showed on the previous video, which I'll link down in the descriptions, slot under, and in particular, X spot, where you can attack your opponent. They run a lot of cover too. Now this is actually going to be auto motion type scheme. You're going to have the running back and you're going to motion them out. I would not recommend using these plays if you've got an opponent that uses a lot of hot blitzes, a lot of cover 2 blitzes and stuff like that. But if you have a guy who uses a lot of coverage against you, then you actually can go ahead and beat him up with this. Now we're going to basically take a look at the tight end option, tight end post, and then another play we're going to go and throw in for a big bomb, which is going to be the play action vertical against any kind of a guy that spams a lot of cover 4, cover 3. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tight end option and just use this against random plays. Now my progressions are going to be pretty much off to the right hand side. If a defender actually floats out to the running back, I can go ahead and do that, but you got an option route by the tight end over the middle, and that's essentially going to be the area of the field that we're going to go and look at against our opponent, is if we actually do that. Now of course, if nobody falls in the area, you want to go and hit the ball to the running back. Now Miller drops the ball right there, but that is actually going to be your first read if no defender falls in the area. As we can see right here, actually there's a guy in the area, but we're going to go ahead and check down to this tight end option route. This is going to be the place that we're going to go ahead and try to attack our opponent with. Now on the backside, you've also got a curl flat concept on the backside. You got to make your decision on where you want to go with the ball immediately, because you just not going to have a lot of time to go ahead and sit on the ball, because you basically got zero backfield. You don't have anybody in the backfield, so you want to go ahead and make those pretty quick adjustments. But I would say I would use this play primarily to go ahead and attack my opponent with that little option route by the tight end number 1. Because that's going to be a place that's going to force your opponent to go ahead and try to man up against you, because basically that route is going to fall in perfectly in the zone. So let's go and take a look at the other auto motion play that we're going to run against random defenses. Now the other motion play we're going to use is going to be the tight end post. Now I love this play just because the route combinations that we have. We have the tight end post, or the Texans post. It basically is going to give us a nice little post route that we can hit our opponent for some pretty big yards in the seam. Now one adjustment I do, basically if I've got off coverage with Hopkins, I'm going to go ahead and take him and put him in a deep comeback, but if it isn't deep coverage, I'm going to go ahead and leave him basically in a fly route, and just watch the safety on the left hand side and see what he does with the coverage. Now as you can see right here, basically what happened in that particular situation, the safety actually pulled away and Hopkins beat his man. So my read in this press coverage is that I know that my number 1 receiver is generally going to beat his coverage, but this corner actually played the ball pretty damn good. It would look like it was pressed, but it was actually he fell off the coverage. Now my primary read on whether I'm going to take that shot up top is going to be the safety. If the safety slides off to the left, that means I've got double coverage over the top. If he slides off to the right, I'm going to go ahead and take that shot up top and see if I can go ahead and rack that catch for a touchdown. So as you can see right here, the corner is actually playing the ball pretty well, but I'm able to go and rack it right over the corner and take it house. Now in off coverage, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put Hopkins in a deep comeback route, and really what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look to see if I get defenders back on the deep comeback route. If I can, I'm going to go ahead and pop that deep comeback route for an easy completion. So I'm going to go ahead and do a deep comeback route. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at that corner and the inside corner and see what type of coverage we have. If it's press, then I know that this basically post route is actually going to go ahead and get a free release. So I'm looking over here once again, and I'm going ahead and see. Now basically I've got a cover 3 shell. I know that as long as this defender doesn't fall into the zone, I can essentially go ahead and complete that pretty much every time. But because I've got a press concept over here, that means he's playing cover 3, and I've got a complement route by this tight end is actually going to be pulling the defender away, leaving this area, this deep Texans post, wide open for a 25-yard, 30-yard completion. So if my opponent uses cover 3, he's pressing his guys, I know that if once he gets off the press, I can almost just go ahead and deliberately throw that ball for an easy completion for a 25-yard gain. And another good thing about this particular play is that you do have basically a check down route if your opponent's using some hot pressure against you. You've got another underneath route that you can jump down for an easy 5 yards or so. All right, so the final play we're going to take a look at is going to be the play action vertical. Now, I do not recommend using this play on a regular basis. Maybe if you set your opponent up, if he starts jumping into cover 3 shells, you can essentially attack him with this particular play. So it has multiple adjustments you got to make, so it's not going to be the fastest thing. That way, you want to go ahead and hold this play on against your opponent on just a couple. You want to hold this play for the right time against your opponent if you catch him in a cover 3 shell. All right, so with this particular play, basically we want to look for a cover 3 shell. Now, if you see right now, I've got a defender over the middle showing me a cover 3 look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the following adjustments. We're going to go ahead and max protect by hitting your left bumper and doing a protection up. We're going to take our tight end number 2 and actually put him on a streak. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and block our running back and motion him out. This takes time for this play to develop, so you don't want to go into this half-heartedly. You want to go ahead and make sure you call this play immediately. Now, final adjustment is once we get the guy out, we're going to do a deep comeback route. Now, this is important that you actually try to give yourself enough room for this particular play to happen, but as you can see right here, I was able to go house because it's against the cover 3 coverage. So this is a concept that a lot of YouTubers, a lot of Madden players use for big play. You've got this guy streaking up the middle. You've got this other guy streaking up the middle, taking those defenders out of the way. And the way comeback routes work is that the overtop coverage actually will pull down and play that comeback route. So this guy's bracketed in coverage, but what's going to happen is this area is going to be completely exposed, and you can go ahead and take this house against your opponent. So this is a good play to go and jump into your scheme against them. So guys, I hope you like these tips. I'll be going ahead and using this particular play against live ranked opponents with my Houston scheme. So hopefully I'll be able to go ahead and get some pretty good plays with it. Once again, this is kind of like a big hitter play. It's a home run play. It might not be something you can normally go ahead and use against your opponent, but if you get the right rack with it, you can definitely go ahead and get a huge play. So to my subscribers, I hope you guys appreciate this. Hit the like button if you like these tips, and once again, till next time.